Hello everyone and welcome back to some shiny hunting. Today is actually going to be a bit of a different shiny hunting for Giratina because this is the account that does not have the shiny charm, but the flip side of this unfortunately is that it does not have access to Nintendo Switch Online. So this is going to be a solo Dynamax adventure hunt. You can tell because I'm playing as Gloria in this, and you guys are not going to believe all of this. About an hour prior, I realized, wait, I don't have Giratina on here. So I was just doing Dynamax adventures, like, oh, I need to do this quick. I need to do DAs, and I just need to do it quickly. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to do this in BDSP if I can't do this fast enough. But fortunately, I was able to acquire Giratina. Like, when I say fortunately I was able to acquire Giratina, I got Giratina probably 15 minutes before starting. That's how close I was cutting it. And I got it. So we're doing some Giratina DAs. But how are you doing, Omar? No, Ho-Oh had not finally happened. We have not gotten Ho-Oh yet. We're just doing another Dynamax adventure for Halloween, because it is Halloween. And see, the thing is here's like the supervillain origin story for the shiny hunting on the channel. Many months ago, when I was thinking of doing stuff for the channel, I thought, oh, no one's gonna want to watch Dynamax Adventure shiny hunts. People don't want to see battling, they want to see shiny hunts. And so I just caught almost all the legendaries as just being legendaries. Okay, just one time through, throw the ball, get it, add to my collection for competitive use later. Smash cut to a couple of months after the fact. Oh, people actually want to watch this Dynamax Adventure shiny hunt thing. Well, screw me, because Giratina was the one that I was like, maybe I want to hunt this thing? Maybe I want to hunt this thing. And I decided against it. And I regretted it. You should soft reset hunting Ho-Oh and UMUS. I would need to set up everything for the Ultra Moon thing. The other thing is that I don't have my stuff set up in Ultra Moon. Like, I don't have my team set up in Ultra Moon. So, because I tailor-made my team that I used to hunt Ho-Oh. I tailor-made that specifically for Ho-Oh. I would need to go back and redo some things for Ho-Oh setup. Please tell me it's stupid jig. Nope. Ho-Oh did not sparkle yet. We did not get Ho-Oh. I love how everyone's immediate thought is, did Ho-Oh sparkle? No, it didn't. Actually, I should probably make that a pinned comment. We did not get Ho-Oh. You know what? That's gonna be a pinned comment. Did not get Ho-Oh yet. This is a special hunt for Halloween. Cause yeah, this is just on the other file. This is on the other file. Haven't you? No, because this is a different hunt. This is a different file. I mentioned this a little bit before, but this is my alternate file for Sword and Shield. For those who don't know, I have a main file, the Maxis one that I play, and then this is my secondary one that I use. This is one I've actually been using for Let's Go. I would go into a little bit of detail on that, but basically I have this one that is meant for Let's Play series or other things like that, which I don't want to restart my actual main files just because of various reasons, and I can do whatever I want on these. And also, I forgot that you have competitive as an ability, and dropping your stats meant I buffed you. But thankfully, at the very least, we can actually kill stuff. Good. Good. Man, okay, I'm a little confused. Fine. Vernicus. Dang it, doesn't do anything. Honestly, though, Wigglytuff is the ultimate counter to Giratina. Very normal, bodies Ghost Dragon. Well, Dragon Ghost, I guess. It just utterly bodies it, and I love it. Fire Blast. I am legitimately surprised Fire Blast is hitting as often as it does. We all know Fire Blast always misses. We all know Fire misses a thing. But yeah, I am... Also, this doesn't have the Shiny Charm. We do not have the Shiny Charm on this. So, we're going up against a Giratina with a 1 in 300 odds. Yeah. That's not going to be fun for our hero. Not fun for our hero. Thank you, Beto. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna swap out for the. I'll swap out for this thing just because I don't want the NPCs to get rid of it. Okay, let's donate. Thank you for the lurks. Thank you for the lurks. I swear, I would not be surprised if I get the shiny in like 3 DAs just because of my luck. Like we all know my luck is garbage. And we also all know that Ho-Oh is being spiteful. So I'm waiting for this thing just to sparkle for me, just to spite me. Okay, sure, drop my special attack. I'm not using special attacks. And also thank you for buffing our Omar Wigglytuff of Doom to kill you. Punch you in the face with close combat. We all know no one gets luck the right place. Yep, the luck never goes in the right place we need it to go. The luck is never in the place we need it to be, with the right place we need it to be being on Ho-Oh, so we know it's going to everything else. So, with that assumption of the luck being distributed to every other Dynamax adventure, well, every other shiny hunt. Oh yeah, that's close combat. Remember, Dynamax adventure Pokemon have like 3 times normal HP, but their other stats aren't changed. And that's close combat, which is super effective from same type attack bonus, from a pretty decent offensive stat on a not physically defensive Pokemon. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. It's one of the many reasons I love doing Dynamax Adventure strategies where, yeah, you can just stack up so much damage. It's one of the reasons why that one shot on Ho-Oh we did, where it was like Helping Hand, Decorate, Coaching, and just one shot Ho-Oh was so fun. Because, yes, we took that thing down in a single move. It was always good. It was a single move, took it down. Granted, we had to use setup of multiple moves to set it up, but it was a single turn, one-shot kill. I love it. It's the most satisfying thing in the world, seeing a Dynamax Legendary just go down in a single hit. There is nothing more satisfying than that, in my opinion. And I'm waiting for first encounter shiny. I'm waiting for a first encounter shiny Giratina. No. Yeah, you don't have much of a attack stat. I might do an idea. You might give this is the account that doesn't have a Nintendo Switch Online, so you can't join, unfortunately. This is the one you can't join. Oh, I love that. Yeah, the delicious irony of everything. All right, good. Please, good. Dynamax comes to me. Please use. Please tell me you're gonna use your Dark Pulse. Please tell me Morpeko is using Dark Pulse. The reason I want Morpeko to use Dark Pulse is I'm using Max Darkness, which drops Special Defense. And Special Defense is targeted by these special patterns. Whereas my physical foul play wouldn't really do all that much, relatively speaking, it would escalate damage. I want to escalate damage to deal even more and more and more and more and more to just kill this thing as quick as possible. Wow, that was a pathetic critical hit. Hurt yourself. Stupid Noodle. Wait, it's a good thing the Noodle did that. Because that means it's activating, it's proccing Wiggly's competitive. Honestly, I like that. I like that it keeps proccing it. Thank you, give me a little bit of health back. What are we all? Yeah. You made a stupid move. Dazz Gleam. There we go. The Omar's doing decent damage. The Omar's dealing good damage. See, now I know it's going to go for Dark Pulse. Now I know what is going to go Dark Pulse. Oh yeah, by this point, Rising Voltage is going to deal more damage because of special defense. Screw you, Ho-Oh. Frickin' screw off. She keeps dropping Morpeko's speed. I don't have Hot Sauce Mudkip, but Apparently, they make hot sauce flavored goldfish. You know, those little, like, goldfish snack things? Apparently, they make, I think it's like, Henry's hot sauce or something like that, flavored, goldfish, and I'm like, why? I mean, I enjoy a little bit of hot sauce on my pizza, but, like, really? Yeah, it's not looking at. Hey, Fidget, welcome in. That's cool. Without sound, I want to say thank you for that. Oh, thank you. Always happy to. Thank you. Please, someone please go grab Fidget's link, please. Someone please go grab Fidget's link. I always love to drop this up. Thank you for popping in. Max Dorknish. See, now you're gone because Wigglytuff is gonna hit you either with. Now yep, Desblame. The Omar goes for the kill. The Omar goes for the throat. Alright. Alright, who? I am saying first encounter shiny Giratina. I'm calling it now. Get Hell's Kitchen hot sauce. It was funny to watch Life just being full of it. I mean, I've actually been to Hell's Kitchen. So I would actually like to try Hell's Kitchen hot sauce because I've been to Hell's Kitchen. And if it's the kind of stuff that Gordon Ramsay regularly cooks with, I wouldn't be opposed to a little taste of it. Because, you know, it's Gordon Ramsay. You know, I'd not be opposed to a little bit of a taste of that. Alright. Let's see our non-existent sparkle. Okay, no. Okay. I also just realized something. I'm gonna need to trade this to someone locally in order. Fidget Mudkip. Like, I also just realized something. I'm gonna need to trade this to someone locally. Oh, thank you, Fidget. Thank you, Fidget. We need all of the shiny vibes. We need all of the shiny vibes because this thing doesn't wanna exist. Okay, go for it, Machan. Okay, please take the Mimikyu. Someone please take the Mimikyu game. Please take the Mimikyu. Game! Okay, well, gotta look for dark types. Or a dragon type, that also kind of works. Well, dragon type move, that kind of works. Let's see, what do we got for options? Heatmore, no. Azumarill, okay, that's an Azumarill. I see an Azumarill. Okay, that's okay. Well, I can't buy a month of online right now. Granted, when I get it, I'll do that. I mean, I know that I could use like the three free days of Switch Online like a trial thing, but I'm not gonna use that right now. I want to save that for. I want to save that for like things with Terrastal raids. Like this was the plan was going to initially be, you know, okay, I wrap up the Dynamax Adventure Shiny Hunts because I was not expecting them to take this long. I'll be honest, I was expecting it very quickly. I didn't really do them out thinking, wow, it actually is going to take me a couple of months to EA, not, you know, specifically just a year for oh. Wait, you make videos, Jace? You make videos, Jace? Oh, yeah. Mike, grab Jay's link. Please miss. Oh, yeah, good. Mrs. Leafstar. Yeah, wreck your thing. Yeah, wreck your stupid cactus. Honestly, Maractus is a Pokemon I have a massive vendetta against. I have a massive vendetta against Maractus because of all the times I was doing Dynamax Adventures where I needed a water type, and Maractus was there by an NPC, and it always storm drained everything. It's like, really, Maractus? Freak off, you stupid plant. You had one job, and it's to go away, and you never went away. Yeah, there isn't. Nummel. You know, Nummel and Cameruptor camels. Numel and Cameruptor camels. I was like, wait, I know there's a camel Pokemon. What's the name of it? Yeah, Numel and Camerupt. But also, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Well, yeah, Maractus at least does have Sucker Punch. At least Maractus has Sucker Punch. Okay, right. I am going to be swapping for the Azumarill. Okay. Good thing is at least Maractus has a grass move to use against this thing, so that's good. And oh yeah, right, it has a poison move though. I mean, that's all it's got is a poison move. Well, yeah, Camerupt is like a decent matchup in Emerald. Oh, the League. Emerald, really? I mean, it doesn't really match up well against the League, though. I mean, Steven makes sense, because it does type advantage-wise match up quite well against Steven. You know, he's Steel type and Steel and Rock type, as well as weak to ground, weak to fire. None of those things are. But the League... Huh. Like, I mean, I guess with the badge boost, it has a good... I mean, everything with the badge boost was quite strong. Guess Rock Slide. That's true. That is true. And with the badge boost benefiting everything of a 10% bump to everything. And she is Ice type, not Water, which does help, but yeah. I always just keep thinking that Glacia is exclusively Ice and Water, but no, she is very much an Ice type trainer. Because she's got, I mean, she has 2 Celio and then a Walrein and like 2 Glalie. It's like, the days, like, I don't know, like, that's one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest person on, like, Hoenn is somewhat of, it's like a shadow of what happened with Unova, where trainers using a type of Pokemon where there's very, very few individuals of, like, that's the main complaint with Alessa's gym in Unova, is, you know, the same 3 Pokemon are in the entire gym, you know, Blitzel's Zebstrika, Emolga, and... No, it's just those 2, Blitzel and Emolga. Yeah, the Blitzel line and the Emolga line, because you don't have access to, what's its face? Joltik, Galvantula, or Tynamo yet. So you're basically just seeing the same 2 Pokemon over and over and over again, which, you know, it's a very understandable complaint about, you know, the lack of real variety there. And I can understand it completely. But at the same time, it's also like, yeah, they did that a lot of the earlier gens too, and they got away with it. I feel like you could get away with it in Hoenn, because, well, it's an evolution, it's a pre-evolved form. But then you have Drake, who, like, Drake has a Shelgon. Drake has a freaking Shelgon on one of his teams. By the way, I'm here to warn you, everyone, that you have Twitter and YouTube, because, yep. Yeah, that, I made an announcement about that already, Omar, in the Discord, about people doing that. Wait, Bradle, what do you mean? Is that for the Omar thing, or the thing that I was saying? Yeah, I just ignore them too. That's one of the reasons why I have a secondary YouTube channel, not a channel, but like an account that I use specifically around times like this, where I just have like my history documentaries that I watch, my Sabaton that I listen to, and like anything that is not remotely related. Yeah, people already got their hands on, like, it happens a lot with games, Braidell, where people who work at stores or have some, like, the delivery, they know a shipment is coming, where they can, like, just get a copy of it or a couple copies of it, and they can just sneak it out. Like, it's not an uncommon thing. I do not mean to use a lure ball. Well, then again, no, well, no, then again, I have so many lure balls on the main account. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over just one lure ball. I mean, if it's a shiny too, like, okay, well, I'll be fine with that. I love my shiny. I love my shiny Azumarill. Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember, they ship out these games very much in advance. You know, the games get shipped out well in advance. I'm being forced to unevolve my T-Rex Lord in Kaishen in the second round of the Super Tournament. Try 100%. What do you mean you're forced to unevolve it? Wait, you can unevolve them, really? Well, the reason why is because they know... Well, the thing is they have to fill all the pre-orders. They have to fill all the orders they know they're going to get on release day. So they have to send them out, well in advance. Because you also got to remember, well, what if there's any issues in delivery? What if there's this? What if there's that? They send them out in advance specifically because there could always be some degree of complications. And they need to get them in the stores day one because they know the demand is going to be massive. And if you've got, a game like Scarlet Violet, which is extremely anticipated, and stores run out, that is just gonna decapitate profits. And with the classic thumbnail, oh, insert game here early. Yep. Yeah, there's a large number of things that go into it, and a lot of it is it just decapitates profits if it doesn't get there on release day. And yeah, it makes sense for a digital game. I mean, I have a thing against. For me, I always loved the box. Like, let me actually just grab one for example. Like, there's just something special about having the physical copy of the game for me. Where, I mean, I know if I have a digital copy, it's there. I don't need to mess or fuss with my wall of things that everything is just slotted into. I can just go in, click the thing, open game. But, I mean, like, I love the physical copies. Digital ones, I mean, eventually I will probably start going, like almost exclusively digital on my games. That is true, yeah, that is true. Like, there's a lot of legitimate points for digital games. And I will never deny, like, there are legitimately valid points for digital games. I just love my physical copies. But hello there, EV Areas Gaming. Welcome back. Physical copy cases of Flex the tools. There it is. I mean, I just like having them because it also means like when I have like a game is missing from my library, like, okay, wait, where is this game? Like, I know I've played this game before. Where is it? There have been more than a couple times where I was looking to play a game and like, wait, where is it? I can't find it. And I like mentally panic a little bit, and then I remember, oh, right, it's digital copy. And it's, I don't know. I mean, again, I definitely understand why people like digital copies. I probably would go digital copies if I wasn't ridiculously OCD about keeping track of everything. And also, like, there is the mild paranoia in the back of my brain about if anything happens to my Switch, I lose that game. I will lose I will not just lose like my progress on the game. I will lose that file. I will lose that game, and I will need to rebuy it. And if I have a physical copy of the game, well, I don't need to rebuy it because I just have the thing right there if anything happens to my Switch. Which, I mean, I've heard things happen where people's Switches freak out on them. They try to migrate stuff over to another Switch, and it loses everything or loses something. And I've always worried about that. I have no idea where the hell my copy of Mario Kart or Let's Go Pika are. Really? So you are not the only one. Well, granted, with my friend, they did lose. Well, their copy of Let's Go Eevee was stolen because their Switch was stolen and it was inside the Switch when it was stolen. And yeah, that was something that happened with a friend of mine. I see a physical copy is around Christmas and birthday most of the time. Digital copies, yeah. I mean, I agree. I can agree with that. Digital copies, I think, are going to be. I'm probably going to get digital copies almost exclusively in the future, especially when it comes to games. Just because, well, when you get digital copies, you can play it day one. You don't have to pay for shipping. You can get it day one. It doesn't need to come later on the day because if you're going to want to play a game, for a channel, you need to do it day one, for maximum growth. And that little bit of a delay time, either you pay primo money to get it delivered early, or, you wait the lag time for a little cheaper, but that. And I know you like. If you could have a team of 5 Ivysaurs IRL, would be. I mean, Aloe would definitely be on that list. Aloe would very much be on that list. I don't know, really. I mean, it would be like, Aloe, Birdo, Aloe Berto. Spinax, Spinosaurus, and I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be generic, but T-Rex. It's gonna be generic, but I love T-Rex. Hey, Eclipse, welcome in. Yeah, I mean, I just like the I love it. Number one is always gonna be the Allosaurus. Number one has gotta be the Allosaurus. I just love the Allosaurus. Favorite dinosaur. Love it. He's my favorite dinosaur. Oh crap! Are we not gonna beat this thing? I don't think we're gonna be able to beat this Giratina, all things considered. Granted, our lineup is complete garbage for this thing. Digital copies are slightly longer loading times. Really? Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I definitely can. The merits of the physical copy, I would say, do outstrip the negatives in most cases. The only real case where the negatives of the digital copy is if something catastrophic happens to your Switch. There's some physical copy that have slightly longer times. Really? I wouldn't have thought that physical copies would have longer loading times. Because I would have thought the game could just immediately start loading, like, it only loads specific things, whereas if you have, like, digital copy, it has to load the entire thing. So I guess it makes sense. Team, super copy. Allows no T-Rex Cultus. I don't remember anything about that. The last time, you know what, I'm resetting this because I don't want to lose my, my lure ball on this thing. So I'm resetting for that one. That's to load stuff from the card onto the memory, I guess. That, I can see that. I mean, again, I don't know much about how computers work. Clearly, I don't know computers. I know how to press the button to turn the computer on. I know how to turn the thing off. And I know how to export files. I don't know a damn thing about how that magic box works. Which is one of the reasons why my favorite thing in Ms. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is where they say, yeah, programming was invented by mages. Because one of the characters says that, you know, it was easy to learn. One of the dragons was like, yeah, it was easy to learn programming. I learned the programming very easily. Because the programming is based on the exact same way it is mages construct spells, which the dragons can use magic. So, like, they can pick up programming like that because they know magic. And it's like, that's so smart. I like that. Computers are literally magic boxes. Love it. I don't have any lemon juice, Mudkip. I don't have any lemon juice. We actually used it all earlier today in the preparations for the dinner, which is going to be salmon tonight. I love salmon. Whether you either learn it all or you learn... Exactly. Makes sense. Yeah. Honestly, I think we gotta go for the Charmeleon on this one, just because, like, that way the game, like, that we heavily weigh us giving the Wormwood. What's that rock type? Oh, that rock type is... All these options suck for Giratina. All these options are garbage for Giratina. I hate it. I don't remember, Jay. I do not remember my dinosaur history all that much. I am ashamed to admit. I did used to want to be a paleontologist. However, those days left me behind a while ago. You know, a little over a decade, and a little almost 2 decades ago, I left those behind. Yeah, I don't really remember, like, all the things. Yep, all I know is rocks. Granted, fossils are rocks. Technically, fossils are actually rocks. But I don't remember, like, the age of them sometimes. Can't be a paleontologist unless you're old, but... I mean, there's a lot of places to go dig up stuff for paleontology. It's just a lot of... Like, this is the thing about paleontology that you don't really learn until you start taking classes that deal with it, you know, in college. And is that most of the time, paleontologists are finding things like pollen fossils, or like plants, you almost never find the term is the term that my professor used was attractive megafauna, which is a fancy way of saying the popular dinosaurs and assorted, you know, things that people really like. It's like, yeah, you don't ever find them because they're really not many places that preserve them. Like, you have Hell Creek, which is a very, very well preserved place where you find a whole bunch of like very, very rare fossils there because it's just a very, very well preserved place because of the way it specifically reacted after the asteroid impact. But then you have places like Mongolia, where, yeah, there's a lot of very good preservation in Mongolia. There is, like, Egypt, depending on things. Like, there's a very, very specific, when it comes to looking for fossils, a very, very specific environment you need to exist, which is why we just find so few of them. Okay, with the heat. Makes sense, yeah. There's very few places that can actually have fossils, which is unfortunate, because, like, fossils are awesome. Just lost to Endome. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that is, Jays. I'll be honest. I'll be honest about that. I really don't remember the dinosaur stuff. I don't really remember much about the Vivosaurs from Fossil Fighters. In terms of like, okay, this specific Vivosaur is this. I remember like Tarbo, Allo, T-Rex, Shan, Spinax, Berto, but like, I mean, I remember like maybe like 15 of the 150 something. Well, probably the 160, 170s when you consider all the super revivers, which I'm not sure super revivers. Okay, that's funny. Okay, that's funny. That is a great, delicious string of irony right there. As my old AP physics teacher would say, delicious. Dykstra was a delight of a teacher. Very few teachers I have fond memories of. Dykstra's one of them because he was just very, very... He was a snarky professor where if you, like, backtalked or, like, spoke out of turn or were talking while he was giving a lesson, he would kind of humiliate you in front of the entire class. And it's, yeah, you don't mess with Dykstra. But he was the kind of person where if you did nothing, you did your work, you were quiet, he was a very, very nice person. But if you spoke out of turn, as in, like, you were talking while he was giving a lesson, you were, like, mocking something, or you were, you know, being disruptive in, like, even a small way, he would call you out on that crap. And not only would he call you out on that crap, but he would, like, make a big, like, a show of it, like, you know, he would, like, have you stand up and, like, call you out in front of everyone. And it got people to stop doing it. It was great. Exactly. He would roast students. And that's why we love Dr. Hey, Siren Skull, how are you doing? Everyone, say hello to Risky Ruffley, who has rebranded as Siren Skull. How are you doing? Honestly, it's hard for me to not mentally default to calling you Risky again. But how are you doing? How's everything doing, Siren Skull? Hope things are going well. How's the stuff going? No, I cannot buy you a cube of tungsten mudkip. I don't even know where to get tungsten. But, yeah. I don't know, Mudkip, where to buy something like that. Because, you know, I kind of don't buy stuff like that, you know, normally. But that's why we love you, Mudkip, because you are a delight. I'm legitimately surprised Pukamugu survived that hit. I'm legitimately surprised by that. I'm doing very well. It's been a while since we've seen you. Can one of my mods please go grab Risky? I keep mentally saying Risky. Can someone please go grab Siren Skull's link, please? It's only $1,700 on eBay. Amazon. I love Cultist's design. Like, it's designed to look like Quetzalcoatl. You know, the namesake of it in real life. I like that. That's a good detail. Like, that is my favorite thing about Fossil Fighters. It's the design of the Vivosaurs. They went so hard on those designs, and they didn't need to. And they look awesome. It's like, I still say my favorite thing about the T-Rex, why does T-Rex have a mohawk? They thought it looked more rock and roll. It's like, that is the only reason T-Rex has that awesome flaming mohawk. That's metal as hell. Like, if you want metal as hell, it's T-Rex. I will take a Violite. Like, stat-wise, Enrage is OP. Oh! It depending on the thing. Because all it does is it decreases your accuracy, but increases your damage. So, like, it's like Swagger in Pokemon, but, like, not really. It's a little bit different. You pair it up with something that gives, like, buffs of accuracy, it's ridiculous. It is illegal to bring fish. I did not know that. Been busy with school. I can understand that, Risky. I can relate to that. I've been looking for a job myself. I've hit a number of times when it came to Enrage. Hit. Damn. Well, good. Well, it's not able to use. I love how two of us used Taunt on the freaking thing. We need to get this thing burnt. Why do you keep ganging up on me? Oh my freaking heck. 50% misses. 50% chance to miss. 50% chances. Okay, now just poison with toxic. Okay, so I wasted everything. I completely wasted my entire time. I knew it was going to go for me, and now watch it get an Omni Boost. Now watch it get the Omni Boost. Okay, no Omni Boost. Okay. Yeah, Pukamugu can't do a damn thing to this thing. Pukamugu is an absolute potato against it. It's kind of a shame that our best chance of dealing damage to it is just Toxic Stall, which I think is absolutely pathetic. Because, like, we can't fight Giratina. We got lucky. That is horrifying, Mudkip, and, like, okay, let's not have Mudkip. Okay, done with this. But how's everyone doing today? How is everyone in the chat doing right now? Pukamugu is an absolute potato, unfortunately, but at least we've got two things dealing decent damage. Yeah, let's get off these topics, Mudkip. We have a rule about, like, certain things in the chat. Like, you know about this, Mudkip, that we have the rules. Those rules exist for a reason, my friend. Oh, wait. And there goes the toxic poison. Everything got wiped away. Oh, yeah, it turns out it's absolutely nothing because your HP is so pathetically low, Pukamugu. You failed. Hit about 15 hours in your Virizion hunt, give or take a couple minutes. Yikes! That is... Yikes! Oh, look, Enduring actually did something. Yeah, Giratina's a tough nut to crack. Ah, Rosie. Yeah, Rosie's like all fire element, right? The requirement to smile at all time. Really? That's interesting, Litsune. I've been talking to make a new profile picture myself. It's about bored. Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, Evie. Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of them there are people lurking in the chat right now. I don't remember anything unless about video games or Rubik's Cubes. What about a video game about Rubik's Cubes? What about a video game about Rubik's Cubes, Mudkip? I mean, the laws in those places exist for reasons. Like, there's a law... Like, there's a law in Alaska or something where it's like, it is illegal to shove a moose out of a moving airplane. So, in order for that to happen, someone needed to have shoved a moose out of a moving airplane historically for that to have been made a law. Like, why? What is reality? Sleeping donkey in your bathtub. Again, case in point, there's always things like that that just exist. Because someone did that, and they needed to make it illegal. It's like, why? Like those silly laws I find, like, quite amusing, if for no other reason than, you know, just, like, things like that kind of amuse me, that something as dumb as that happened. Not really dumb, like, something as out there as that happened. Video games about Rubik's Cube. Why would I play when I can use them? You know what? Fair enough. That actually reminds me of something. I forget when it was, but I was watching something about The Amazing Spider-Man. And, you know, a very famous, or infamous, I guess, to a degree, depending on what side of the line you fall on, about the CinemaSins video of CinemaSins with their Amazing Spider-Man video. Is someone said, yeah, the Rubik's Cube is solved when Uncle Ben picks it up, and when he puts it back down, it's messed up. Because if you look at Uncle Ben in, like, just out of the corner of your eye in the screen, he's actually, like, fiddling with the Rubik's Cube, and actually, like, he's messing with the Rubik's Cube. You know, he's, like, just seeing, like, you know, he's basically playing with the Rubik's Cube while, like, talking to Peter, like, just, you know, moving his hands. And that's why the Rubik's Cube is messed up, and apparently, like, that goes into one of my things about something like, yeah, they made a joke about it because it's not something you're ever gonna notice. But it's like, a lot of people don't miss that, like, it's very tongue-in-cheek. One of my old... Oh, we got blown out of the den. One of my old teachers... One of my old teachers... His son... was like a machine when it came to solving Rubik's Cube. Like, you know, most people, like, it was like a very fluid motion. You know, you know, their fluid motion, like, they stop and then, like, you know, turn the Rubik's Cube and look around. Him, it was like, it was like watching a machine twist the size of the thing. It was like, it was so interesting to watch. Because he would hold it just perfectly still, and it wouldn't, like, move up and down as he's doing it. It's just like one finger would just move the entire side of it. Like, watching it looked like a machine solving a Rubik's Cube, and it was just such an interesting thing to watch because, like, it was like watching a machine solve a Rubik's Cube. Because we were on, because he brought his son with him, because he was, you know, also in one of the classes, when we went on a trip for a class in, AP Chemistry, and just watching him on the bus to the place, just solving the Rubik's Cube like a machine, was just, how do you do this so quickly? It's awesome. I would love to watch that, Mudkip. I would love to watch that. Because, like, watching people solve things like Rubik's Cubes, it's something I know I could never do, but I am fascinated to watch people solve it. Why does Fossil Fighters think Aerosteon Mega Rap? I think it probably was, at the time, the best information pointed in being similar, to it, or they just did it for simplicity. Because you do have to remember, they basically would just use the same skeleton patterns for most Vivisaurs, because it's a lot easier to program. Like, okay, we have one template for, like, skeleton layouts, and it's easier just, like, copy and paste that a billion times over. There's a few of them where they have, like, a very unique skeleton layout, like Archaeopteryx was one, O-Raptor's head, I know, is a unique one, just by having, like, the same raptor rest of the body. But the others, if I'm remembering correctly, most of the others had, like, a homogeneous layout with the other ones, which was just simplicity for programming. Which makes sense in a lot of cases, because you don't want to spend more time programming than you need to if you can just reuse it, because they'll be hard to That is a great joke, Braydell. That is a great joke. They could have made it be Spinax, like, helping him. Spinax had a unique pattern? Oh, freak off with that freezing. Freak off. But Spinax had a unique... I want to check this. I want to check that. Spinax had a unique pattern? Spinax, Fossil Fighters, Wiki. It's been a while since I've played, since I've seen Fossil Fighter stuff. Honestly, I think Spinax is a better name than the Japanese name, which is Eltis. I think we got the better name. I think we got the better name. Let's see. There's the... I know the Fossil Fighters wiki has a layout of what the bones look like. I think. No, they're not. The new team spawned Spinax. However, at the time, the vertebrae used to identify with another name, Buckle Spinax. All the Spinax was then considered nomen dubium, that led him doubtful name reference to the fact that Spinax is a genius. So all the Spinax, one of the champions, identified as the Buckle Spinax champion at the video site. After no one else was adopted, Buckle Spinax is now ranked as a junior synonym of Alta Spinax, making the original genus Fossil Fighters well correct. Really? That is fascinating. I love that. Given the starter rest of the history of Alta Spinax taxonomy, the bones were originally erroneously thought to be that of... Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. That is a brilliant... That is an amazing historical in-joke. With Spinax being the starter, I love that. I didn't realize the entirety of Spinax being the starter was a historical in-joke. Because originally, Spinax's bones were mistaken for those of a Megalosaurus. Which, for those who don't know, Megalosaurus was like the first dinosaur ever discovered. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so genius. Like, this is why I love Fossil Fighters. They go so hard on, like, historical in-jokes. And just, like, the writing and, like, lore of everything. And they don't need to. I freaking love it. Fossil Fighters, Spinax, Skeleton. Okay, what does the Spinax skeleton look like? Fossil Fighters, Spinax skeleton. Why can I not find anything about what the Spinax skeleton looked like in here? And I'm still frozen. And I'm still frozen. Freaking heck game, unthaw me. I mean, not unthaw me, thaw me out so I can keep killing stuff. I don't know, three-fingered dino had Spinax Ventoris. They had three-fingered dinos. Yeah, the funny thing is that Spinax, Venator, and S-Raptor was the lineup I used for my first playthrough of Fossil Fighters. I used, like, the most, I guess, generic lineup you could, because, oh yeah, just like the early game of the game, Carnivores. It's like, yeah, just ran with those the entire game. I love them. Okay. Does Aerosaur? Was it a three-fingered one? Aerosaurus. Was it a fingered? Copper lizard. Interesting. Interesting names. So it had three fingers. Interesting. Really? Curious. I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff in Fossil Fighters. The only thing I could think of is maybe information at the time wasn't great on it, or it just had more similarities and it was just simplicity for programming. But yeah, that's weird. That's strange. It was a Megaraptor. Interesting. Interesting. Hey, hello there, Happy Halloween. Are you new here, Happy Halloween? Welcome in. But yeah, it's this is indeed a Happy Halloween. We don't really do light goals here on the videos because it historically has encouraged people to just come in with alts and do things like that. But thank you very much for that. We don't really have light goal things though, but thank you very much for coming in. I hope you enjoy, and you'll leave a like and subscribe for more. I'm not gonna swap out here. Let's see, normal, explode. Actually, yeah, I'll swap out. Okay, Klefki. I'm glad I swapped out. Yeah, Kultus is good. I like Kultus. What's best? Okay, what's the best one to go for? I think Starmie is the best one for us to go for. Yeah, Kultus is really dang good. Like, I think the best thing... Wait, I forgot to change my profile picture. I think, like Fossil Fighters' designs are some of the best. They're great. Just like for the small, Wildland, Fossil Fighters 1, use it over Spinax. Then get rid of the Lexo instead. Really. Hey! Welcome back, Aries. Welcome back. I'm not gonna waste my play roughs. I need. Oh great! I'm not going for an attack. Please use Shadow Ball. Don't. Okay, good. Really? You used. Well, then again, no. Attack is your higher stat than special. I mean, before that makes sense. Yeah, let's go with Flash Cannon. Well, the good thing is that we basically body Dazzle Flame. That's good. Yeah, I know. Aries was working on his profile picture a while ago. Aries said he was working on his profile picture a little bit ago. Yeah, a lot of us don't have alts, which is a good thing, because, like, alts have been historically very good. Oh, Comso's ridiculous. Comso is broken. Like, I remember when we got access to Guan in the Let's Play of Fossil Fighters over a year ago, and it was like, yeah, we are never taking this thing off the team. It just destroys things far too. Like, Guan did absolutely nothing in terms of damage on its own. But you throw it on a team with something, and it just buffs it into absurdity, and you just start steamrolling literally everything. Honestly, I just think, I mean, see, that's one of the reasons why there was a video that I'm somewhat in the works, Jays, is basically how champions mastered the art of the superior sequel. And it basically goes like this. Everything that it does is an improvement on the original Fossil Fighters. It's a more balanced game. It's a much better game. It has a much better story. It has a longer story. It has more content to actually do. And just, the battles are better. Canonically, of all of the swords, you own Army Alpha thing. Really? Interesting. Are you sure there's not like a mistranslation? Because I know, like, in Japan, they have, like, gender-neutral pronouns for things. And, like, commonly, things are, like, translated as he into the English language just because it's like, the default, I guess, or something. Or, like, that's the way, like, the guides typically translate to. Because if I remember correctly, that's the reason why in, like, the guide, not the guidebooks, like, the manual or something for Metroid, it refers to Samus with, like, male pronouns. Because they didn't realize, no, she's, you know, Samus is a woman. But because of, like, the way translations go between Japanese to English, that was lost. Because, like, apparently it's just the way that the languages work that something like that doesn't get carried over. And I find that fascinating. That, yeah, so that's... It is a very, very amusing thing to look into, yeah, like, all, like, the advertising stuff that went on with Metroid, and, like, yeah, they thought Samus was a guy for so long, and before that, like, oh, wait, it's actually a woman. Never change, world. Never change. You entertain us very, very well. The world can be very silly sometimes. Of course, we get taken down right there. I think that's our first KO of the whole bunch, but I think we're still gonna be good. I think we've still got a chance against this thing, if I'm not wrong. Oh, that's how it got burnt, with Scorching Sand.
Okay, I was like, wait. Who burnt the... None of us... there's a fire move, but it doesn't have flame body. It... Like, oh yeah, scorching sands exist, and that could have burnt it. It did burn it. Okay. So good thing, Misty Terrain is going to lower its dragon move damage, so it can't use like Dragon Claw on us. It's good. Well, I mean, it will still be able to use Dragon Claw. It just does a lot reduce. It does 50% reduced damage as well as half damage. I can't name. I don't even know every Shrine Mudkip. I can't name them all. I don't know them. See, reduced damage, half damage, max step off. Oh wait, no, that wasn't even half damage because I hadn't set up the terrain yet. Now it's doing this. Well, then it was half damage because of the burn, but now it's a quarter damage. Get wrecked. In my game name, try my Alright, makes sense. I mean, I think a couple of the names were changed because this, like I know, like, Peugeot is Super Saurus, and that the reason it was changed is, like, it would have been Super. They changed the name to something a little bit different. You know, Peugeot, Super Saurus, you can see how they changed it a little bit. Oh, Max Darkness. I'm not Max Darkness. Max Phantasm is what it used on us. Okay. Scorchy Sands. Burn. Feel the burn. Doppelgrie gets with that hit. Please get a special defense drop. Dang it, get a special defense drop. But we're still going to toast this clown. We're still going to toast this clown. Daz Gleam. Very good. Daz Gleam. That's what we like to see. And there's the stat purge. The name of Trima was Giratina as a champion known as that. Interesting. Oh, you don't have Shadow Ball then. You have Shadow Claw. Okay. I thought it only had Shadow Ball. Okay, that was wrong. Anado has been... always been Irrita. I forgot what they called it out. That, I think, might be a translation thing. Because, I mean, that's one thing about the Fossil Fighters games is that, you know, they are, of course, translated initially in Japanese, and they are translated into English later. It might be just the translation thing that they messed it up somehow. Or they mistook the dinosaur it was based on. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, that's a bit strange. I mean, hey. It's one of my hypotheses about the initial Fossil Fighters is that the game was a rush job. We go into this a bit in the Fossil Fighters analysis we did about a year ago at this point. Nope. And, I mean, it's nothing about it is proven, and it is just a hypothesis that I've always had in my head, just based on, like, the primitive nature of the game and then, like, the vastly superior nature of champions that followed right after it, was that the original Fossil Fighters was a tech demo. In, like, the same way that Legends was a tech demo for Scarlet Violet, and in the way that Let's Go is a tech demo for Shield and Sword, that it was a very bare-bones games. Okay, that's weird. That's very weird. That, like, it was a tech demo for champions, like, to test, would people actually want to see a game about dinosaurs? And, you know, would people want to see a game about dinosaurs? And if so, let's just test the waters. You spend a lot of time on this, you know, this big idea of it. Let's first see if, like, let's just, like, put out a smaller version of it, a downscaled one that's easier to make, test the waters. Then we'll go from there. And, you know, nothing about that at all is confirmable. That has just been my hypothesis for a while. But given how primitive the original Fossil Fighters is, and how, like, basic so much of its entire thing is, that so much of it is locked into post-game, like, accessible areas, there is almost no after story for, like, anything. It's like, oh yeah, here's just, like, a bunch of, like, side questy things to do around the whole world. And then, like, you just refight a bunch of people for level grinding. But there's no, like, post-story in the same way that there is for the original Fossil Fighters champions. where you've got, all the different tournaments and just all this awesome stuff that just goes into the game. It's much more primitive story, feels a bit intentional in that we're making a basic bare bones game to test the waters, which, as we've seen from Legends, Pokemon does the same thing when it comes to making a tech demo. No, it is not Mudkip. The funny thing is, I don't actually hate Sylveon. It just kind of vaguely unsettles me. I don't hate it. It's kind of amusing. My favorite Pokemon's Metagross. My most hated and least favorite Pokemon is actually Mega Metagross. Yeah, I don't like Mega Metagross. I don't like it. It kind of creeps me out. I think it's a bit over-designed. It's like, simplicity is a spice of life. Variety is a spice of life, but like simplicity I love. Like, I love that simplicity. New Vivisaurs are Sarnak, Saro. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Hephaelosaurus, who was the third dinosaur found. So Iguana, and Megalo skills because they were the first 53. Really? Iguanodon was the second dinosaur ever found? That I did not know. Psychic, that's Claydol. Yeah, we don't have anything to take on Beware. I don't like the flesh tentacles, Mudkip. Those are unsettling and they're creepy. They're unsettling, creepy, and deserve to burn in the deepest fires of doom. But yeah, I don't really dislike Sylveon. Like, outside of it just kind of creeping me out, I don't really dislike it. It's not like Mewtwo, where I kind of have a passionate distaste for Mewtwo's entire existence. Largely stemming from, I just think it's a kind of overblown beat stick. And if I want a beat stick, I'll just go for any of the others that just do other things like Dialga, Palkia, Zekrom, Reshiram, Yveltal, Xerneas, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, like... Because, like, they all have, like, comparable damage. Like, the only difference is like, Mewtwo has 4 extra points of special attack than their offensive stats. But they have a lot better bulk and a lot better typings. I mean, Mewtwo has, like, of course, the insane moveset that we all know Mewtwo's got, because, it's Mewtwo has this insane Gen 1 learn set. There's a Tano. I'm pretty sure Titanoboa is already in the... I'm pretty sure that's Typhus. I'm pretty sure Typhus is the Titanoboa. Like, a Gigantophus, I think, is, like, one of the names for the Titanoboa. I thought they were the same thing. I'm gonna go... Yes, Saishan. Yes, Saishan. Yeah, I remember each of the Ankylosaurus-looking ones. They all have, like, one has sleep, one has poison, one has enrage, one has confuse, one has... They have each of the different stats. Like, I like that. I like how there's, like, thematics among everything. Like, one has sleep. That's one of the things I love about Fossil. Yeah, they just do stuff like that for everything. Like, everything has, like, a thematics. And then, you got, frickin' not Ceratosaurus, Carnotaur, which just, it just doesn't do anything to anyone else. It's just built different. Okay, interesting. Okay, then maybe it was something in the thing labeled it as being Gigantophus, or, not Gigantophus, Titanoboa. I distinctly remember reading something in, like, the Fossil Fighters, like, Fossillery, or whatever the index thing was about Titanoboa. Tophus Fossil Fighters Wiki. I love those games. Like, those games are... Titanon... Its name is Titanon in Japanese. Trivia, there we go. Tophus is actually misnamed in the English. The Fossillery states as Gigantophus was 49 feet long, 3 feet thick, and discovered in Colombia, weighed a ton. This information is from a different species called the Titanoboa, which is much more famous due to its larger size. The real Gigantophus was only about 33 feet long and covered in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. That's what I remember. Yes, it was the information was incorrect on the Fossillery. I knew it. I love that. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot the little detail that, yeah, Rupert actually has a Tophus because DI-66R steals his medals, and he fights with the Tofa, so he technically does have one, but he never uses it outside because he always uses water. He does a team of just exclusively Mappo. Freaking Rupert, I still say Rupert is probably my favorite character in that entire game. Like, Rupert is the character I relate to the most. He's like Paul from Pokemon, which, those who don't know, I actually like Paul from Pokemon. I do actually legitimately like his character, because he's really only framed as being a dick and an antagonist because of the lens of the story being told through Ash's perspective. Is like through the lens of it being Ash's perspective. Whereas, you know, from Paul's perspective, Ash is just an idiot who goofs around. Paul is always constantly, like, preparing and, you know, strategizing, working, and improving. Which, if you want to win, is what you do. Whereas Ash is just kind of an idiot goofball who just stumbles through all of his fights and doesn't actually plan. He works things a bit hard, but also he works them hard because he knows he wants to win. His goal is to win. And if you want to win, what do? You do that. He's kind of a dick framed that, but it's... Yeah, just perspective. You know, it is just the perspective. I like that. Like, yeah, he gets unfairly blamed. He's not a complete dick. He's not a complete dick. He's a little bit of a dick, but he's not a complete dick. Hey, Stone. Stone, please grab Stone Family's link. But how are you doing, Stone Fam? We are just shiny hunting Giratina solo with no shiny charm. But, how are you doing today, my friend? How are you doing? Okay, please tell me that Berserker's using Lash Out. Please tell me the one time that they use a move that drops your stats, Berserker, you don't use Lash Out. Really, game? I can't name all of them. I can't name all of them, Mudkip, because I can't remember them all. I am doing well, though. I am doing very well. Many. Good compass. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Titano Boa is the larger one. The Gigan Tophus was the smaller one. Well, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmeleon, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, Rattata, Raticate, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Venonat, Venomoth, Paras, Parasect. Like, there's just so many Pokemon, like, it's kind of hard to remember all of them. Okay, good, you follow me. Oh, great, Stat Purge. Oh, great, Stat Purge. Oh, yeah, right, Double Down. Those moves don't actually deal damage, they're just insta-kills, and they apply damage. We'll say is that the same as that. Interesting. There's a lot of Ivysaurs that exist, and I like that. Like, again, I think that Fossil Fighters is a great game, but I also think, yeah, it'll never, like, ever regain anything. It will never realistically come back. You know, realistically, I think Fossil Fighters is not necessarily a dead game, but it's one that is likely never gonna come back. Because the two companies that worked on the game have split ways, and you know they they're not like conjoined anymore. They both took like their own rights. They have the things, and it's. I mean, I would say a dead game, Mudkip, is something that there is no still following for. You know, like I would say. I would say something like, to a degree, Star Fox is somewhat of a dead game. Where, you know, I mean, there probably are still, yeah, a dying game. I would say it is very much that. I would say very much it is that, where it's like, it's kind of a game that, like, nothing's done with for a long time, and there's not an element of, like, a public thing. I mean, the closest thing that you could say that, you know, Star Fox has to an ongoing thing is, like, re-releases of the games being ported onto the Switch, or Fox Wolf and Falco being in, like, Smash. But, you know, those are guest characters. They're characters in a fighting game. I wouldn't really say that equates with other stuff. These all suck. All these options suck. I'll go level. Could be 500. Yeah, it's... You know in the end it's gonna eventually go away. Hey, welcome back, Fidget. Welcome back, Fidget. Okay, I see a dark type. I see a Thievuo. Okay, so Ditto, Thievuo, and Skarmory does have a dark. Skarmory does have Assurance. So that's beneficial. That is beneficial for us. But how are you? Welcome back, Fidget. Welcome back. It's a good thing that they have the Slowbro, because it's gonna transform immediately into Pan, and I have no real means of damaging this thing because it's poison fire and it bodies me. So one for the member spots players. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said that's why I said dying game. Is that I don't really think that there's anything that is a dead game aside from like all those screwed up games that came out like years ago on the old like the Atari. That way were one-off games that people made. It's been a good Monday. It's been a good Monday, Fidget. Yeah, aside from like all those illegally made games for things that were on the Atari like decades ago, I would say there's really no such thing as a dead game these days. There are dying games. You know, like, you know, Call of Duty Zombies. You know, well, classic Treyarch Zombies is a dying game. Which really kills me inside because like I freaking love those games. Like I loved Treyarch Zombies. Love it. It was a great game. And the just gradual decline of it because of ass-hattery. Well, not really ass-hattery on the part of the creators. It was just the series was running very, very, very long. And, you know, it's kind of one of those series where what do you do? You know, after what? Like, when did World at War come out? World at War. God. World at War, 2008. Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 Zombies. The biggest day one's offerings menus. Black Ops 4. Okay. Black Ops 4 2018. Yeah. Like, it was a decade-long run that Treyarch Zombies had. And, like, it was a decades-long run. And the main issue Zombies always had was it wasn't until midway through Black Ops 2, which came out, what, they had, what, like, 3-year release cycles, so, well, 2-3 years release cycles. Black Ops 2 came out in, what, Black Ops 2, I think, came out in, like, 2012? I wanna think 2012? Yeah, 2012, I was right. Geez, in 2012, like, halfway through that to Black Ops 3, which I think Black Ops 3 came out in 2015, because I remember I was gonna play that with one of my friends when it, you know, came out. Black Ops 3, 2015, I was right, 2015. And, yeah, because, right, well, Black Ops 1 came out really, really quick after. But, yeah, it was, like, halfway through that, so we'll assume, what, 2013, 2014, is when Blundell took over for Zombies. And he was left with, like, 4 years. He was left with, like, a couple of years of a massively disconnected storyline that he needed to just stitch together to create a more cohesive narrative. But the problem is that everything was just, it was created intentionally without really a big overarching narrative that really made any sense, and him trying to stitch it all together and, you know, create a new storyline, while at the same time trying to keep the older storylines still going and then, intertwine them together and then wrap them both up was always doomed to end in failure because they couldn't... You could never have a good, continuous storyline so long as the original storyline was also still being made. Because you have to reconcile there's multiple universes. And you have to, oh yeah, well, we gotta explain the multiverse crossing over. You can't do that, like, in a very sensible, long-term way. And then, well, okay, yeah, they cross over. Okay, the premise, Ultima's characters interact. Okay, what then? And it just slowly started to decay, and I'm just so sad, because I love these zombies. Love me some classic Treyarch zombies. Okay, fine, kill me. And, I mean, the other part was just running out of ideas. Well, it was a combination of, like, multiple factors. It was a combination of the running out of ideas, because anytime that you had, like, advanced warfare, add, like, the exo-zombies, zombies in Spaceland for, Infinite Warfare, I think is what it was. Like, ideas used in there, like, you just can't use because it will be seen as copying it. And then it's like, okay, well, all of these ideas, like, all taken off the things, like, and it slowly contributed to the decay of this amazing series. Okay, bye-bye, Mike. Yep. My favorite game is Super 64. Everyone ever also... I was very... See, my feelings on Black Ops 2 are torn between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. Because, like, for the story of the individual game, I really like Black Ops 2, but I also, like, prefer Black Ops... Like, I think Black Ops 1 has a bit of a better, more interesting storyline. Mostly because you've got Russian Gary Oldman, constantly in your ear. As you get to hear Gary Oldman the entire time. It's like, yes, Gary Oldman's awesome. But then you've also got, like, the interesting storyline of Black Ops 2. It's like, oh, both of them are interesting. But most of my experience with the games was zombies, and the Black Ops 3 storyline is complete nonsense and stupid. Even Christopher Maloney can't pull out Black Ops 3's storyline from stupidity. But zombies was fun. I preferred it for the zombies. Like, I think Black Ops 3 was peak zombies. That's gonna be probably a hot take. But I think it was the peak of zombies was Black Ops 3. I remember racing my dad to see if we get the Galvanuckles first. Awesome! Yeah, for me it was like, every single one of the Black Ops 2 maps for zombies have a big problem. If you're playing Mob, I love the atmosphere, the vibe, the characters of Mob. I think they're fantastic. Why? Because you have Afterlife, which is, you always get more revive. You get a free revive at every single wave. And you get a free revive at every wave. You have, the Blunder Gat, the Acid Gat, the Vitrolic Withering. The most overpowered wonder weapon in the entire Call of Duty Zombie series. It is literally a monkey shooter. Get the Vitrolic Withering. All the zombies go over to the acid canisters and it just blows up and, like, they're gone. They leave you alone. And you're just invincible. And then if you want to go Pack-a-Punch or upgrade the Hell's Retriever, the Redeemer, you need to go around the entire map again, collect all of the things again, and just spend so much time walking around. That is just not really fun to go running around everywhere. Die Rise, you've got the fall damage. Buried is a joke, because just all the money you can get very easily by using Leroy to smash into things. Transit. I don't think I need to go into detail about why people dislike Transit. Even though I actually really like Transit, it's a nuisance to play because of how long it takes to do things. The falling perks on Nuketown, and this I know is gonna be a hot take, but Origins. My main issue with Origins, my main issue with Origins really stems into, you really can't have a chill game of Origins. If you're gonna be playing Origins, you're pretty much going not necessarily for the Easter egg, but you still need to go. You need to turn on all the generators. You need to turn on all the generators if you want to use the stabs, which pretty much the only reason you're going to play Origins is because you want to use the stabs. You know, that's a bit of a big process in and of itself. And, you know, turn on the Pack-a-Punch, you need to turn on every single one of the generators. And a lot of the time, it's just going to de-evolve into, yeah, you're just playing most of the Easter egg steps normally for doing a map. And it takes like half an hour to an hour just to start setting up on Origins. And it makes it less enjoyable because you can't have like a chill, relaxed game of Origins because, well, I want to use the staff. Okay, well, if I want to use the lightning staff, I gotta open up everything on the map to go get to the tank, jump off at the points, but not kill the zombie when I was chasing the tank. Or, okay, ice staff. I need to go get the ice staff pieces before the snow goes away. Wind staff. I gotta wait for the robots. You know, I love the lightning staff. The Keymat's Bite, all the way. You gotta ride the tank. And if you want to use the fire staff, well, you gotta kill Papa Panzer. So you can't, you know, go and get the fire staff until round 8. At which point you're gonna need a good thing to beat Panzer, so you're kind of screwed. And you know, it's just little things that kind of make the map a little less enjoyable. But then you got Black Ops 3, where you've got Dreisendrach. I love the map no one can ever pronounce. Where, you know, it's basically the same layout as Origins with like the 4 wonder weapons, but they're a lot easier to get. Like, you get the Stormbow. The Stormbow is extremely easy to get. And, you know, it's a lot of the lightning staff. But then, it's just much, much, much quicker to just get everything set up on DE. Shadows of Evil. Yeah, it's a long process to set up everything, and it's a giant map like Origins, but it's not nearly the same amount of time to set up everything on Shadows in the same capacity as Origins. Plus, you know, the Wonder Weapon on it isn't as great. But then, you know, there is, you know, if you can have a chill game of Shadows. You can't really have a chill game of Origins, which I feel was always the biggest problem of Origins, was it's very difficult to have a chill game of it. You can have a chill game of almost any map on Black Ops 3, with really the exception of Zetsubo, which, fun fact, Zetsubo was actually my favorite map of all of Zombies. Mostly because I loved the idea of the map, where it literally takes away everything you're used to. You know, like, it's extremely point intensive, so you need to rely on your skills as a player to survive. And, you know, you need to rely on your skills as a player to survive, and you need to, you know, keep a cool head. You need to not be used to, okay, I'm just going to hit the mystery box and get, you know, a really, really good thing immediately. No shinies whatsoever, unfortunately. But like, if you pull anything from the mystery box in Black Ops 3, it's amazing. It's like, like, the worst thing you can say about a thing in Black Ops 3, Johnny, is, like, the worst thing in the entire mystery box for Black Ops 3 is the Pharaoh. And even if you put the Pharaoh in a game like Black Ops 2, it would actually be kind of decent. Like, it wouldn't, it's only reviled in Black Ops 3 exclusively because we're so used to all these amazing souped up things in Black Ops 3 that you get, and they're just ridiculously souped up and powerful. But you get a moderately okay powerful thing, well, it's not good, but it's not good by comparison. Or like the Elcar 9. But even like those, you put them in the earlier games, they're actually still decent. Let's see. Not good, not good, not good. Actually, you have Shadow Claw. I think we'll go this way. But yeah, it's like, it forces you to rely on things like the Shiva and the RK5 or just using the MR6 for a long time and your knife. And you needed to rely on like those skills to keep your cool head, not getting your perks like round 4, like you did on most of the other maps. Now you needed to keep your head up. You need to keep your head on your shoulders. And I mean, another part of like just the wonder weapon wasn't as insane, which, you know, I think was a good thing. Like, what was it called? The TK4? No, not TK4. What was the wonder weapon called again? It was upgraded on the Mazamune. Set. TK4. Yeah, I was right. It was the TK4. I love how I actually remembered the name. Yeah, no, I never used the TK4, but I remembered the name. Yeah, it's like, yeah, the TK4, it's literally a farming tool more than an actual wonder weapon. But I like it. Because really, Zetsubo's basically Origins without the stabs. And without, like, the lore heaviness. Which I'm okay with, because, like, I love Origins. We all love Origins. It's a great map. But what makes the map is the lore. Like, if we're being honest, it's the sheer lore overload that is Origins that makes that map more than anything. You strip away the lore, it's literally Zetsubo no Shima. And I'm okay with this. Because I love Zetsubo no Shima. It's a great map. Like, I like the ridiculous point intensiveness of Zetsubo just because, yeah, it makes you have to rely on your skills. Because, like, if you want a fun map, you know, you want, like, a fun map where you can just go in and just go ham on everything, well, that's the Ryzen Drach, Gorod Krovi, the Giant. There's a whole bunch of maps where you can just go ham. But you want, like, a test of, like, your actual skills as Zombies player. Zetsubo no Shima. Great game. Great map. I love it. I enjoyed Town. It was fun. Okay, no, again. Like, I feel if Transit was a little smaller of a map and you didn't need to rely on the bus to go everywhere, it would be a much more fondly remembered map. I mean, granted, the Pack-a-Punch unlock is also ridiculously tedious, which, I mean, that doesn't help its case, in my opinion. But if you had something like you could call the bus to go from one place to another, and, like, the Pack-a-Punch was easier to get to, or you could just walk and you didn't have the denizens to deal with, I feel like Transit would not necessarily be the most fondly remembered of the maps, but I definitely feel it would be a lot more favorably remembered than other ones. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I liked the ideas of what Transit was going for. You know, like, it's a very large, spread-out map with isolated pockets of things in, you know, the post-apocalyptic world that, you know, Black Ops 2's zombie storyline is set in. That makes a lot more sense. And I think it makes for a more interesting map layout. But the problem came in with the fact that you have the distance is so long, you can't realistically walk from place to place. There's no stamina to make you go faster. There's the lava, which bars your entry to places. Pair that up with the denizens, which make it so the lava can kill you. There's a whole bunch of, like, the best way to describe it is basically Transit is death by 1,000 cuts. Is death of 1,000 paper cuts. It's, on its own, any one of those little factors, I don't think would have really hurt a map too bad. Like, okay, long distances, okay, we can deal with that. We've seen Origins, and a lot of other maps are absolutely gigantic, and people don't really mind them. Okay. You know, the denizens, okay, the distances are kind of short, we can deal with them, we don't need to go outside there, we're fine. You know, no stamina, okay, fine. He's short in the area, okay, it's fine. But then you add that with the annoyance of Pack-a-Punch, with the denizens, with the lava, with the exploding zombies, with Avogadro, with the power. If you turn the power off, you lose your power up, you lose your perks. I never actually played the story mode, actually. Just the... Interesting. But yes, like, it's an interesting idea of what Transit tried doing. The problem is, though, that a lot of what it was just... Like, it was a game that... Not necessarily a game. It was the layout and the idea of Transit was just a bit too ambitious. That's the right word. It was an idea that was far too big to be able to pull off. Like, do you know the reason why it is that Transit has the fog, Jays? Do you know why the game actually has the fog on Transit? When if you actually look out at the doors at the start of it, there is no fog outside, and the rest of it actually looks quite nice because you don't have the fog triggered. The reason why there is no fog initially and why it only appears when you step out is the fog was added because the PlayStation, I think it was, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were not powerful enough to render the map. They basically used the fog to hide the limitations of the console's inability to render the entire map. Because basically, if you would look out with the fog removed, it would either slow your game down, your system down to a crawl, and it would be unplayable, or you'd look out in the distance, and the draw distance would be ridiculously apparent, and just the pop-ins would look horrible. So they added in the fog so that the game could load in the assets for the areas you're going into on the way to disguise that they're popping in. You know, it's like in Legends how you see all the Pokemon moving in slow close to them. It's basically to hide that from happening. And if you pulled off if you made, say, like Transit on the next-gen consoles, they could have pulled it off. You know, they could have pulled off Transit on the next-gen consoles because they wouldn't have needed to have the limitations be in place to, because the game wouldn't have been able to probably process the entire thing very quickly. And also probably would have realized, well, we don't make it as big because, program limitations. And, I mean, the other problem was just, like, they weren't experienced with buildables. You could only carry one buildable at a time, which... Smash cut to like Origins and Mob, where you've got like a billion buildables at every time, where you're carrying like 15 parts for things. It's an unfortunate story of Transit. How it was an interesting concept, it just kind of was doomed by its own scale. Its own over-ambitiousness kind of killed it. And because like Transit was supposed to be a game like Left 4 Dead, I think is what it is. A game like Left 4 Dead, where the idea is you go around and you build things, where you build things to survive against the zombies. And that can work. There's a reason why those games work, because those are inherently very interesting ideas. The problem is when you try to mix that with the point system, wave system of Black Ops 2, and you try to make it so you can only carry one thing at a time to try to balance it out, it just ends up not really being worth it. Where you play paid toll, you die. I didn't know about that. Like, I know like Tombstone existed, which Tombstone was interesting. It was interesting first. Like, there's a lot of interesting things that Black Ops Zombies did, and it just kind of failed after a while, because and, I mean, it showed that they learned. They very much learned from their mistakes when it came to Buried, when it came to Die Ride, when it came to Mob, when it came to Origins. They learned from their mistakes, and like, yeah, we're gonna make these maps better, because we realize that things like this are just not good. It kills players' enjoyment. We need to be able to have the games more flexible, where players can just enjoy things more, and that's good. That's a good system. The problem is, it doesn't help the initial base release game which most people, because their first experience of zombies in Black Ops 2 was Transit, it kind of killed it for everyone else. Yeah. Very unfortunate, though. I mean, if Transit was just, Transit could have been left. I feel like they had decided we're not gonna make Transit so gigantic that we're gonna need to disguise it with fog. I think the game would have been a lot better received. I mean, that's just my own little head-candy thoughts about how it went. But I mean, then we never would have had Blundout. Then we never would have had the amazingness that was Origin. So I feel like Transit was a necessary sacrifice in order for us to get things like modded Origins. I mean, that's just my thoughts. Those were. I mean, they have their problem. They have their own, sets of problems. But I will never deny that they are perfect. I will never say that Origins is a perfect map. I think Origins has very glaring issues, namely the mud, which they made worse in. I find that they brought the mud back in Zombies Chronicles for Black Ops 3. And the mud slowed you down so much you could barely move. It's like, yeah, the one thing about Origins we didn't like, you brought back, and you actually made it worse. Great going there, Treyarch. I mean, it makes sense why they did it. It's the one thing to balance. Hey, ready? It's like the one thing that balances you, that you can't just sprint with stamina up everywhere. Because the mud slows you down, and but they slowed you down a bit too much because you basically cannot move. If you go on the tank track in Black Ops 3, I mean, they might have changed it later. You're just dead. You will not be able to outrun the zombies because you will just get caught because you're slowed down too heavily. You are moving slower than they are, and you can't get enough of a lead to get to the trenches before they catch you. It's why people do that run jumping where they would jump and you would move faster when jumping. And because I remember in Black Ops, I had this. I figured out a way to infinite chain slide, where you would move faster sliding. So I would just infinitely chain slide to places when I needed to go to get to someone quickly, and that didn't work in the mud. They killed my one strategy for defeating the mud, was chain sliding is no longer possible in the mud. Unfortunate. It is very unfortunate that I couldn't keep chain sliding, but I mean, it was a fun thing. Someday we're gonna do Black Ops 3 on the channel. Someday we're gonna do Black Ops Zombies on the channel. But how are you doing? How are you doing, Freddy? How you doing? Not Bulu. We're not doing Bulu. We are going back to Giratina. We are going back to the Noodle of Doom. I'm thinking we're probably gonna wrap this up in a bit. Not sure when we're gonna wrap. Not sure. Please take the Jolts down. Please take the Jolts down. Please take the Jolts down. I'm not sure when we're gonna wrap this whole thing. Okay, fairy type. Okay. I see fairy type. I see another fairy type. I've never played Plants vs Zombies actually. I've actually never played it. I've heard good things about it, but when it was big, I didn't get into it. I wasn't capable of playing it when it was big. And by the time I did get one, I just didn't really hear much about it. So I never really got into Plants vs. Zombies. I like that everything's a pun, and that so much of the game is just pun heavy. The repeater is the pea shooter. Repeater. There's so many puns on the name of it. I like that. But I never got into it. I never played it. I don't play other games where there are zombies in it because it was just a specifically Treyarch zombies thing, and the closest thing to Treyarch zombies I played otherwise was Escalation, in Transformers Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron, which I am very sad that those games didn't really do as well. Like, I liked how Escalation in Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron were very, very different from each other, but also like from other Horde modes, where you'd have, you know, in the case of Fall of Cybertron, it was flat 15 waves. It was a flat thing. It's always 15 waves, and at specific wave numbers, certain things would come in. Whereas War for Cyber, like, I think War for Cybertron's I think War for Cybertron's was better in being an infinite wave system, and the variability of the enemies was better. However, I think overall, its selection of weapons and its mechanics were not as good because they just weren't as refined, which I think was a big problem. Like, there's a lot of great things about it, but it wasn't as well refined as Escalation in Fall of Cybertron was. Right, in Fall of Cybertron, you have, you know, it's standardized for things, you know, like the levels, the waves are standardized for both Autobot and Decepticon levels. The abilities are more standardized, because like you would have all kinds of ridiculous abilities for the Transformers in War for Cybertron, where I remember, like, there were specific DLC pre-order characters for Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron, that were default better than the characters in the base game. You had Zeta Prime, which his passive, okay, drop an ammo beacon, automatically refills ammo for free, whereas otherwise you have to go buy ammo with, you know, spend points on ammo, which means you can't buy new weapons, as, you know, you have to spend, okay, you decide between health or weapons or ammo or doors or this, whereas, oh, Zeta Prime, oh yeah, free ammo. Which they added that in regular Escalation, where, yeah, it's a standard ability. They don't have DLC characters that have that. It's good. But then it was like, oh yeah, I just have like a shield. Not great. And like, there were some issues with follow-up with War for Cybertrons, but I think overall, if you just took the Fall of Cybertron system, where like standardized abilities are a thing, and added that to the unlimited wave system of War for Cybertron, that would have been so much better. But I do like how you could upgrade weapons in Fall of Cybertron. Like, you would, you know, dump in like 10,000 points cumulatively. Like, in most, you know, Horde wave things, it's like everyone for themselves in terms of like upgrading and getting the weapon stuff. But in this one, you know, say cumulatively you have to dump in like 10,000 points. Everyone gets an improvement on their weapon. Like, it does more damage now, or it's more accurate, it reloads faster, it has more ammo. And then when you get to a certain point, you get enough points. Okay, well then there's the special upgrade that applies to everything, which, you know, every weapon has its own individual special upgrade. Like the shotgun, it did fire damage. The giant minigun, it had a lower spool up time. The assault rifle had like a just increased melee damage. And like, I miss that, because that was super fun. But I get why they didn't, you know, bring it back, and it's a shame that it had to be Xbox Live only. You can't play solo anymore, which is sad. Hey, Alan, how you doing? But yeah, like, freaking Escalation was great. I never managed to beat Wave 15 in War for Cybertron. I never could do that. Also, in War for Cybertron, jets were just default better. Jets were just default the best class to use when it came to War for Cybertron. Because if you were a jet and you got downed and you were in jet mode, you could actually still move. So like, and this is the one thing that I remember happening was whenever I would play with friends, they would go into the jets, and if they were going to die, they would turn to the jet mode very quickly. And they would make their way over to, like, the healing thing. Like, you could buy health. And you could buy health to be able to heal yourself. And if you bought health, you would just revive yourself instantly. And they would do that, and you could actually move over into it. You couldn't do if you were down regularly. You couldn't move fast enough if you were too far away. And, like, there was, like, some areas where you couldn't access it. You couldn't access it. But if you did that, you could access the healing and just instantly get yourself back up for free. Like, that's such a fun idea. But it just made them just default better than, it made them just default better. Which is unfortunate because, yeah, it kind of made the others useless. I'm doing well, Alan. I'm doing very well. Flying, what's that? What's a Bolga? Yep, we'll go for this because it's Lash Out. But yeah, I miss Escalation from War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. Those were great games. Like, the only issue is that War for Cybertron had with its escalation mode was that the DLC characters default were better, and that the waves were a bit too hard. Because you couldn't get better gear. Like, you couldn't upgrade your weapons to make them stronger. You had to basically just go with what you had. And if your stuff wasn't that good, well, eventually you would have to just keep buying ammo over and over and over and over and over and over again, just to just deal with the Titans. But I did like the way that they did that. But yeah, I would love to do like horde modes for like as a series for the channel. I mean, Salmon Run kind of has that. I mean, Salmon Run's like the only like current existing one that I have for the game. But yeah, there was horde mode. I love horde modes. I think horde modes are an underappreciated art form in games. Just down to wave-based survival where the waves escalate every time. I kind of think that's a bigger test of your abilities as a player than probably anything else. You know, if you guys disagree, you know, please, you know, speak up about that, because I'm always going to hear like the reason why. But the main reason why I think that is it gradually can acclimate you to certain things. So, like, it teaches you the shortcomings, the strengths, and limitations of everything, while also, at times, forcing you to use definitively worse equipment. You know, you can't just go in, deck your stuff out right from the get-go, and you have to make use of everything. You have to know how everything works and how, like, all these different things. Like, you know, when my brother and I would play Origins, it would always be, he'd get the Ballista, I'd get the Remington, 670, I think is what it was, I think. CR, something like that, I don't know, I went from the dig spots on Origins, and, you know, I'd have to go, okay, so just deal with the bad shotgun and the Mauser for a long time. Then, when, you know, we get far enough, okay, I get Keymat's Bite. Then, when, okay, again, upgrade the thing, okay, well, I need to make use of, like, something else, because I'm not really the MP40. So it's good, but it's not great. You know, not super stealth. I mean, most people use Kill the Panzer, but you know, it's good. And you use that for a while, okay, then I get my staff. And, you know, then basically just easiest street, but you gotta make use of, like, all the different gear you can for as long as you have to, as opposed to, like, say, multiplayer where, you know, you can be just going who just definitively has better gear than you. Which that's one of the reasons, like, I only ever played multiplayer in COD just to get Dark Matter. I'm not proud of it that I played just to get Dark Matter in Black Ops 3, but I mean, Dark Matter was sweet. It was so fun going into zombies and letting them just get in the middle. Like, yeah, I got Dark Matter. It's so pretty. The animated, just purple swirls of doom, as I like to call it, were just beautiful. I'm so sad that they ruined Dark Matter in Black Ops 4. I'm so sad they ruined Yeah, okay, no, I can Dynamax next turn. Because, yeah, the way that they changed Dark Matter in Black Ops 4 was in response to, like, getting a certain number of headshots. It changes. Okay, another you know, set number. Okay, it changes again. And then to get it onto the Dark Matter we know and love, it took, like, 1,000 headshots. Which you're never going to really get that in most games. Like, it was just ridiculously hard to get. It's like, it's so not worth it. I miss when it was just a flat, static thing that just was applied in all ways. You didn't need to escalate this, guys. I'm so sad about that, but it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, we're probably going to wrap this up a bit soon. We're probably going to wrap this up soon. Yay! 6 DAs because we got stalled on that one Ho-Oh raid for like 45 minutes when we can normally blow through these in like 10. Oh my gosh, Ho-Oh, you're just too chunky. It's too chunky to go down. I love Giratina. That's like Ho-Oh. Giratina just too chunky to go down. Giratina is a chunky thing. Oh good, okay good. You actually managed to use Screech. Oh, it probably went for yeah, probably went for Aqua at that point, which makes sense. Okay. But yeah, we're let's go find someone to raid. We're gonna go raid. Preferably someone doing Dynamax Adventures. I think is the best option, course of action to go do. I do indeed love me my Dynamax Adventures. Dynamax Adventures. It's fun. There we go. Something to do. Yeah, we'll probably go raid Brandon. He's doing a shiny hunt for Yamask. Yeah, we'll go raid. You know, we'll go raid Brandon R24. Die. Good. Please, Bouffalant, use Lash Out. Please, Bouffalant, use Lash Out. Good. Good. We're doing so little damage. Like that's the only thing about Giratina that I don't like and why. Yeah, I'm okay, this disappeared from the battlefield, okay. And there's another stat purge. And there is another stat purge. Yeah, we're not gonna win this. We're not gonna win this. Jeez. I mean, I knew Giratina would be rough. But I didn't think it would be this bad. Granted, we have been getting kind of screwed with our lineups. Oh, look, paralyzed. Yeah, like, we're really feeling that. Like, it's like Lugia. You know, pressure is normally kind of a terrible ability. But, I mean, in this case, it's actually working for it. Because it's tanky and it's meant to stall. And because it's able to stall so well, it can burn down all of your power points. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Brandon. He's doing some stuff and things. We may or may not be doing another stream later tonight. Probably not. We might, but don't know about that yet. Could potentially do it. Yeah. I was wondering why was it using I was wondering why it was using Aqua Jet, and then I realized, wait, right, even with the Brine, even with Brine's a bonus effect, it's lowered its defense so much that it would still do more damage that way. Oh no. Bouffalant's out of moves. We lose. We lose this round. I think at this point we have actually gotten all of our turns used up. I mean, unless I can just like, there was no way I could have done enough. Yeah. And with that we lose. And with that we lose. All right, we're gonna go raid Brandon R24, who is presently hunting shiny Yamask, well, Galarian Yamask. See you guys next time. Let's rock and rolla. And happy Halloween. See you guys.